we're,
Page 1 of 12, bottom is the accessory at the bottom.
yeah,
Oh, I just have mine. If you look underneath. Okay. This?
Oh, keep going. That's a script.
there it is.
Yeah. Thank you.
The-
Are we page 2 of 12? Okay. Oh, no, so I see where
It
it's.
starts on page 1 at the bottom. 1355 numbers.
So Lois, after all the changes have been made up to this point,
Mm-hmm.
you said we're 15,000 under.
Yes.
Okay.
Which I kind of want to put towards Killarn Road.
Yeah,
So, but we can, decide on that.
yeah.
Joe's highway budget. So that would, make us still under the cap. I want to stay under the cap, but just make it 0,
Yeah,
What's the last column? This is the first time I've looked at this report like this in this format. But I see budget, and then what's the last column?
Oh, it's
here?
a far right.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
believe that's the recommended budget for the year.
Is that right, Lois?
Yes,
There's
the
a
far
budget
right
and then
column. Yes.
Recommended budget. Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Thank you.
so Lisa, do you want to go over your line items, any glaring changes that we should know about?
Not really. I wanted to ask one thing. If I adjust a line item this year because of the way I did my training, does that affect me next year? Like, can I have it back next year? Because like I did extra training this year because of the way my training period went. It's a little different because I just got certified. So my period like wasn't a full year. So I had to do 2 years of training in 1 year, if that makes sense.
Well, then would you not do training next year?
I shouldn't have to do any, I don't think. And if I do, it'd probably be so small, I could just do it online. But I think I'm good. I'm waiting to hear back from them right now. Because I just did the fall conference. But that should be enough hours now to carry me. So then I have the end of 24 and then all the way into 25 to do more education. Because I don't think I'm going to go to this fall conference. It's way up in New York, Western state. So
So
I don't really
are
know.
you asking, what you did this year get the 23 budget?
yes.
So is
Yeah.
it true?
No, I mean, it hasn't. Yeah, I think the last round of checks you cut was the last for training for 2023.
Right.
So I
No, I would just leave money in for next year.
Just in case?
just in
Yeah,
case.
yeah.
Okay. All right, even if I don't use it.
Yeah, we could carry it over, right?
Or we can-
The hard thing is keeping track of all these little carryovers all the time.
Yeah, it's not enough to really
If you
worry.
think it could be reduced, that would help.
True, yeah. And I'm curious to see how much, if we get any money back.
How
too.
much are we talking?
Yeah, it's like $2,500.
2,500 a year?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
all right.
I mean, it's not a lot, but I'm just,
I'm just wondering, from that, can we reduce?
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right. No, I'm just-
2,500 is a lot of money to me.
But they say once
Mr.
you-
Tightwad over
Give you.
But,
give it
you know,
back.
the way things are expensive.
So it's
you know,
I know.
for me too.
Mm.
Just understanding if I do lower it, then can I put it back? Cause then I might have to do 2 years worth the next year. It just depends. On
What-
how the what I said.
Is our money,
So along those lines then, on page 2 of 12, up at the top, it says assessors BE 4775. And then 3 lines down, assessors CE 2500.
Right.
Tell me what the difference in the two are.
The CE is her regular CE line for office supplies,
Oh, okay.
There's
all that
So that's
kind
not
of,
the training.
The training
Yeah.
is the fourth one down.
The 2500.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
so I may take a few online classes, but it's not gonna be anything near $2,500. So
and what do we, does the,
it's it's all right, I guess.
Does the money for our 5 or 10-year assessment that, our outside thing,
Yes,
is that in here?
yes, it's all the way, excuse me, at the A fund. I'll take you to the number. It's 9950.
Say that again, didn't hear it.
It's 9950.
Oh, okay.
Transfers
back.
to capital project. So it's the last appropriated line in the A fund before you see the revenue on page 6.
Okay.
40,000.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's what we've accumulated thus far towards that 10-year.
No,
we
no, no, no,
will,
we
yeah.
have 90 something thousand.
So 90 plus 40 by the end of next year.
Yep,
Right.
So 130,000?
yeah.
Okay.
So the office supplies, the 4,775, that's office supplies?
That encompasses actually a lot of stuff. And unfortunately, it didn't give you the breakdown, but it's
Didn't,
also mileage. It's a bunch of, it's like membership fees. It's kind of encompasses,
yeah,
it's kind of like
okay, got it.
a general,
So do we have like, say, we put that in the budget, but do we have how much we used last year?
I don't have that available here with me. I can send you, I will email you a current operating expense report. And you will be able to see how much we spent this year
Okay,
to date.
The old,
Right.
the old program used
know.
to show all that.
yeah.
Yep, I know.
I know last year I used it all. In 2022, 2023, I think there's still some in it, I
I
believe.
still think there's some left, but yes, in 2022.
I went
Um,
over, so I think that's why we increased it a little. This year we did not. Did we increase that? Oh, $225. Yeah. As of 8/31, it was 2,300 used. But, there's a lag and some stuff coming through, so. But this all rolls up into the CE, so we could lower the training, and that actually kind of falls in the CE, because as long as CE doesn't really matter if it gets pushed around from one CE sub account, like the training ends in 0.22, it doesn't really matter, does it?
No, I still would have to do a budget amendment, but it could be transferred.
Yeah, so, we can do that if we want, but I just know I'm not gonna need that training, the 2,500, I like.
Well,
But it's a couple $1,000, I don't know.
All I asked for the 4,700 because it's the same, and if you're not gonna use the 2,500 and we need it somewhere else, you still have enough money left in this top one
Yeah,
for training, so that's all,
okay,
that type of thing, if we can.
Lois, were there other assessor lines that you struggled with or no?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you, Mike.
Were there other assessors line items in the budget that you struggled with reconciling or new or dropped?
Nope, the last year, the assessor's attorney line has been reduced. So that's
I'm not-
about it, right?
yeah, I'm not
Yeah,
aware of
because
any
of the-
pending, I'm not aware of any pending litigation at this point, that's why I lowered that. Yeah, so if I knew that there was some potential litigation,
Yeah, last year we was Stallion Park.
right, and then, anything we don't use, then we've been rolling into the reserve.
Cases this year on appeal?
Mm-mm. No, I still have one, Article 7, but it's an exemption. So they're either, and it's for this year, so if they're gonna adjust it, they're gonna adjust it
Okay.
right away. It's nothing that's been dragging for a few years. And
So the Stallion Park, has that been resolved?
Oh, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
That's
I
long.
mean, we really couldn't fight that. It wasn't enough money to really fight it. Did it create an equity? Yes, it did,
It-
but
Okay, so, okay.
it's lower than it should be, but it wasn't worth fighting.
Okay.
Well, there wasn't
Oh,
enough
I
money.
remember now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's, we have to weigh both of those, sometimes it's just not worth the fight.
Now Lois had mentioned.
Oh.
We wanted to reclassify one of your employees or something.
Yes, you and I spoke about that because right now you're signing her check separately
Yeah,
and you said she needs to be on W-2,
yeah.
which by law, she really should be.
So right now she's a independent contractor, basically.
Yes.
Right, we talked about initially bringing her on W-2. Mary was kind of not sure. She kind of wanted to test the water with her. So I said, well, why don't we bring her in as 1099 and test the water and
So
see?
what is her title and what are her hours right now?
Well, right now her hours are pretty flexible because she is 1099. You really by law have to be very careful with that.
Right.
So, I could,
So what is she doing now?
right now she's pretty much Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday,
And
but I give her more flexibility because I kind of really have
so
to.
Wednesday,
She works, she
Tuesday,
comes,
Wednesday, 30 from 9:30 or 9 to,
yeah, sometimes she comes in at 8:30 and leaves around, or she leaves around 1:32. So she shortens the day, but she's in that window of our office hours. Yeah.
so to move her to a staff person
Mm-hmm.
under Lois, looking at such. That clears up that ambiguity about being a private contractor,
Correct. Yeah,
but everything else will stay the same. The hours will stay the same, salary will stay the same.
I did give
She
her,
doesn't pick up benefits, right?
no, I just
No,
did-
she's part-time.
I did bump her rate $1 just because we had her kind of low. She was at 18.50 an hour. She should be at 19.50.
So she's gonna have to start paying taxes then.
Mhm.
Right.
She-
So yes, she'll,
Anyway,
Well, I mean,
Responsible.
that's up to her.
We have to pull it.
Right,
right. For this year, she's gonna have to do her own taxes when
Right.
she gets the 1099.
right.
okay.
But for next year, she'll just be W-2 and she'll be
Right.
part of the regular mix of payroll and it'll make my life easier because like this past time, we totally missed it. And I'm like, I'm a day late giving it to you, but you were a good sport about it.
And the title
So-
for that is assessor's aide, is that what she is?
Her
Yeah,
title would be clerk, believe it or
Yeah,
not.
part-time clerk.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's the 18, the
Okay, I
18
see
sub
what she
account.
is.
Yep. And this is leaving her part-time all year long, so she can continue to help us with stuff up the data collecting, and she's gonna be focusing on the village.
So right now it's 18.50 an hour and we're going to 19.50.
Yeah.
I know it's not budget related, but you said village, did you get any response from the village yet? Will they be sending you
Oh,
the stuff soon? The last 9 months for the stuff?
Well, didn't they hire somebody to fill it, to help?
yeah, it's her daughter, but she's in school, so I don't know how much she's been there yet, and I'm trying to be a good sport, but.
Well, I can be a good
No,
sport.
don't be this for.
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad because who am I supposed to yell at? I mean, not yell at, but who am I supposed to complain to? Because I
Well-
can't really complain to Sarah.
Those are
'Cause
those,
Sarah says that there just aren't enough hours in the day for her to get everything done that he keeps throwing at her.
So,
And-
Lisa,
yeah.
that's very compassionate of you to feel that way,
Yeah,
but that is not our problem.
okay,
They have to meet requirements.
Yeah.
that-
I mean, did they answer you and say how fast they think they'll get that last 9 months worth of stuff to you? I mean, they're huge projects that we're not taxing in the village.
no, but the problem is, it's not that we're not taxing it. The problem is I get it at the 11th hour and then we're scrambling to put value on. So I get
That's wrong.
slammed in the
It's
beginning of the
totally
year
wrong.
with it.
It's totally
Whereas now I'm adding everything, sorry, everything I'm adding right now for value is all town,
doesn't that
so.
affect their ability to assess the village by not having?
Well,
these
I'm
things
sure that they're,
Current, they're just not sending us the copies.
yeah. I mean, we
Right.
need the stuff, so.
So
Absolutely.
so our process is late in the game. Like right now, James
Yeah.
gives us stuff right away.
I mean, it's
We
such
get
a
it
simple
entered, we get-
It's
process.
very simple.
Yeah.
Scan, send, email.
Yeah. I mean,
It's very simple.
how much time does it take?
So
You know?
we can't, I understand you're sympathetic, but
Mhm.
it's not, get it done.
Right.
Do you have a guess of what kind of dollars we're talking?
Well, I asked her, I'm like, can you tell me what,
How many?
What's
yeah,
coming?
uh,
and she said it's a lot of like roof stuff. She said there were not a lot of huge projects going on in the village, but I know there's some.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, so, it's not just 5, there's probably a good 50 permits, I'm guessing, that I'm gonna end up having to review and,
Maple Avenue,
And-
for one,
Mhm.
every other house is doing something.
yeah, right.
Hate Avenue, the Jim Dunn house just got
It's
redone.
not just that I value that permit. I mean, we're trying to capture everything at that time, because it really gives me an opportunity to look at the whole shebang and if they pull a permit for 20,000, sometimes if I think the house is already valued kind of where it should be, I'll be careful, but if I think it is light on value, I'll hit that permit pretty heavy on them.
Who's the
So-
village building inspector?
And
That's-
so-
Ken McLaughlin.
Yeah.
He certifies all that stuff before he hands it to the assessor's office, correct?
Yes,
So why doesn't he send it to us?
Yeah, forget it.
Don't they have a?
He's never
Well,
there.
Sarah, I guess,
Secretary, right?
which is
And-
Sarah, I guess
Secretary, so
she is taking on that role now too. I don't know.
So if December 31st hits and we don't get that, what does that do to our?
Well, it's not a December 31st issue. It's the rule. It's making the tentative rule,
Right, so what's your
Right.
deadline on your tentative roll?
April 15th. So it's a scramble for me. It's been that way every year that I've been here. I've been hit with
but
that.
that should not
early
be, it's just
no.
no way that should be. I mean,
Right.
it's not like that much work, it can't be that much work.
Right. And Kathy started asking for this back in August. The last, so she gave it a while and it's been since August.
Up to that point, were we getting stuff? When did this?
We got
start
stuff
going
through
down?
January. That's
We don't
it.
have stuff from last January.
It was like mid-January was the last time we received permits from them. And she started asking again in August and
Well, the minute I asked the mayor, he
Yeah,
right away,
yeah.
he came back and said, oh, we had to hire somebody. We hired.
yeah, but she said she had been trying for a long time for him to get to agree to that. And she said he just did. And I think it's because we were pushing him. And she's like, I don't have enough time.
So you sent Sarah, I think, an email, right? You copied
did.
me on it?
Yes, yeah.
And she was gonna asking her, how soon can we expect to get? did
Yeah,
you
I mean, I
answer
can
it?
follow up. No.
I would tell her you're under a great deal of pressure from the board.
Yeah.
Put it
Well, I
on
can
us.
send that email, like the board is on,
Tell them we're on
honest
your
that we need
case.
to have a routine, but I can follow up with her again.
Yeah,
And should I send it to him too? The
sure,
copy?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes,
Any communication. you
yeah.
do
And
with
if anybody gives you any crap, just let us
So
know.
we have a record.
Yeah,
I just fail to see why this needs to be
An issue,
an issue.
shouldn't be an
Like,
issue.
you see this?
Mm-hmm.
Seriously.
no,
I mean, send it over.
Am I kicking you?
no,
I'm
so
so sorry.
I'm now
I'm like picking
up.
up both their spots. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Scan, send, it's like 2 seconds.
Even if they
Yeah.
take a picture with their phone and send it
It's
over.
2 seconds.
You need hard copies?
Okay, so
Well,
you,
yeah, she need,
Or to go over there like
You
once a
did.
month and grab all the plans from
she said
them.
that. in her
Yeah, I
email.
mean, I don't mind doing that. I mean, when we go out and get the mail or coffee or whatever,
Yeah,
maybe
zip over.
just zip in there and grab it.
So you're getting a copy of their hard copy that they. filed
No,
and then-
no, we get soft copies of the permits and the CCs and COs
Soft copy.
through email, soft copy, and then a hard copy. The only thing I need physical is plans, because plans are hard to scan.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
other than that, everything should be scanned. Anything that's in letter size, they can put along with
Yeah, you
the
just get
permit
it
or
over
the
to you.
CC or whatever. But anything that's bigger scale, like the plans, that you get from the architects and stuff, that I need to have physically, brought to me or I offered to pick them up too.
Would it
So,
be to our benefit to have a joint meeting with this board and then come over and develop a process? I mean, the process sounds so simple, but they don't seem to do it.
Let's see.
Let's see how-
You're gonna follow.
Yeah, let's see how Lisa makes out with follow.
Because this is holding up our ability to full assess.
Well, not just that, but it puts the
It puts
burden on
some
us.
stress on us, and we're very busy at that time of year too. I mean,
Yeah.
this is the time of year that we really, I mean, that
Need that
Kathy's like,
stuff.
you know, we're over a grievance, you know, I just finished small claims court
Yeah,
last week.
get the stuff over
So,
to us.
you know, it's,
And as you said, when you guys walk around, when we all drive,
yeah,
I mean, let's use an example.
Oh, my God.
The county has said there's 13 short-term rentals in the town. Well, those people probably improve the facilities in order to become a short-term rental. So whether there's a deck or an extra room, or
absolutely,
something that's been added, we
Right.
need to see those kinds of things.
You're
And
right.
that adds to the value of a house.
right.
You
And it's
know.
not just a deck. I mean, there's some people that have done
Oh,
pretty good
Oh,
rental size
Joe and I-
renovations, and they're not even pulling permits for some of it because they're not moving electric and,
well,
but I
Joe-
see them on the listing.
Joe and I were ringing doorbells all weekend for the last 3
Yeah.
weekends. And
There's a lot of improvements.
we rang some doorbells on places I was at 4 years ago. And they weren't even the same house anymore. I mean,
Yeah.
like the backs of these places,
Oh, yeah.
swimming pools. and-
Oh, yeah. People have done extensive
and
work in their
patios,
backyards.
and- Oh, my God.
You know, we're limited in what we can do with that though.
I know. Yeah,
So, I mean, all
I
those,
understand.
those
But that's happening in the
hardscapes and
township.
stuff.
I mean,
Yeah,
places in the town that have improved.
yeah,
100%.
yeah.
It's like,
But you know, we get things like the swimming pools and the stonework and that type of stuff.
But
Then there are
that
places
adds
that
value.
need it.
to a
Oh,
home.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, people have decided with interest rates, the housing market kind of flat, interest rates, they're gonna invest their money in the houses they're in. They're not gonna buy new,
I have
they're not
another
gonna sell,
question.
and improve it.
I have another, I know we're going on a tangent.
No, it's all related.
Take another split second to. down.
Sorry, we're kind of diverting here.
Uh,
No, it's okay.
house, ever decreased in value?
Has any house ever decreased?
Decreased in value because of the slum conditions that it's turned into. Do you ever, you
Yes,
know?
only if I get a sale price.
Because there are some out there where it's like, you live here, you know what I mean? Like that's
Yeah.
kind of about ready to tip over any second.
Yeah.
right.
You've seen some of that.
Um, when we remove, and when, if they pull a permit and they're like demoing a barn, then I do have to
Yeah,
do some adjustments,
Well,
but,
something
but
like
sometimes
that,
it's virtually nothing, 'cause let's say.
unless they complain.
Right. But a lot of them, if
Right.
they pull a demo permit, they will call me and say,
Oh,
what
yeah.
kind of adjustment did I get on this? I had several people this year take out swimming pools.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
then they call and they're like, wow, what did you do for me for the swimming pool? And I'm like, well, it's a liner pool and it was 25 years old.
Mhm.
That doesn't really have a lot of value at
Yeah.
that point.
Yeah.
So, you know, if it's
Okay.
gunite or concrete, then, so I really have to kind of talk my way through it. But usually by the end of the conversation, they're cool with it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sometimes I'll just give them a tiny little bit of money and they, you know,
Yeah,
We
okay.
Yeah.
gotta get the village communication better.
yeah, that would be great because that has, the village thing has been, you know, added more stress to me in the early months of the year when I'm really busy with a lot of things and trying to,
you know, what if we asked the village that add to their, maybe they could add to their code that when somebody gets a building application, it has to be joint town and village? No,
I didn't look at the view.
no, I don't, I
I
can't.
think that, yeah.
I just popped in my head and I spit it out of my
it's so
mouth. but-
complicated. It's just a matter of
No,
them
it's not. complicated.
making it part of their daily routine or weekly routine,
Yeah.
whatever it is.
Oh, it should
Okay.
be, it should
Yeah.
be-
You know,
it should be the,
Thursdays at this, you know, this is like my task of,
Yeah.
this is my little slot to work on building every week. Get them all through, run a scan and just send them to us.
So let's
Bingo,
take
it's
what the
done.
follow-up email.
Yeah.
Let's
Right.
see where that gets.
Okay, all right. So I will follow up. I'll CC him. I'll CC you again. And, but yeah, if we could
got a
stay on
big-
this,
we
I
got a
would.
nice big barn going up there by Lodi's.
Mhm.
That's huge, that building. It's-
More than just a barn.
No, I know that.
Yeah, that's-
It's gonna be
that's-
office,
that's-
apartment,
Much
Barn.
more extensive than I
right?
expected. Yeah, it's much bigger than what it looked like originally, but.
All right.
All right.
So,
So we're gonna move the young lady into the normal.
Yes.
mhm.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. that
Okay, Lois?
What's that?
We're gonna move, I forgot her name.
We're gonna
Claire.
move.
Claire, I'm sorry,
We're-
Clerk into
into the regular payroll.
the configuration you wanted.
I could probably do that this year. We would have Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare on top of that expense as the employer's expense. But I could take that from one of your other lines,
Okay,
so.
Yeah.
let's do it the right way.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah, I'm more comfortable with
Good.
that. Now that she's been here long enough and she's
Yeah.
proved herself. and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
she's-
pleasant lady.
She's good.
She's really
Yeah.
good.
And who knows, it may work out
Yeah.
that she does ends up doing some, something else down the line,
Mhm.
You get good people, you kind of want to hold on to them and do something.
sure.
So, yeah.
All right.
Okay,
What else?
other assessors line items that you struggled with this year? or-
No, not really. I mean, this, again, the litigation stuff was pretty clear cut. Since we don't really have anything pending, because that can be a little iffy. We're continuing to save towards a reval, which is great. Having Claire on board is going to help us more with the data collecting because it's a lot. A lot has been missed for many years, and that data is really, really important. I mean, this goes back to even before the last reval and when Jim Tiger went through this, and there's issues that have been there for a very long time.
When we
So-
did the last townwide reval
Yep.
10 years ago. or coming up on
Even
10 years,
longer.
When it's 2025.
Yeah, well, it was
I think we did it.
2006, so.
It was 2006?
Mhm.
No,
No,
it wasn't that long ago.
no, we did
You
one.
remember, Gary?
I wasn't here then.
Wasn't it?
It was when,
The
what's
reval.
her name was, Bussy was the chair. We
Kathy-
brought a company in and we did a complete
Yeah.
townwide.
The guy that we
100%.
didn't like, but
MJ Watch, so you had somebody
Well,
send
yeah.
MJ Watch?
no,
No,
I think that was him.
Yeah, that was
Okay.
2000,
Was
they
it that?
started in 2004 and it was completed in 2006.
Wow, time flies, I guess.
was it really?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, I'm not aware of anything since
That's
then.
even more, that's even more,
That's terrible.
yeah. And at that time, when we finished that reval, there was an, understanding or resolution that we would try to do so many properties per year. Have we been able to stick with that?
What is it, 10%? So that's 250 properties?
Because you have
Right.
1,600 properties in the town, right?
I
I think it's more than that. Yeah,
thought we were gonna do
yeah.
20%.
I thought it was 20% a year. So that at the end of 5 years,
We would have hit them
100%
all.
of the town would have been done.
Right.
So
Again,
again,
it depends on the level. When they say you're looking at so many properties every year, there's different levels of looking at a property.
yes, there's a drive-by, there's the new one.
Yeah.
Yes,
Right.
but in your index,
There-
you
some
would check
people,
off 25% of the town that has been looked at somehow.
25%.
20% of the town has been looked at somehow.
I wouldn't say we check them off. I mean, we can look at them by my spreadsheets that I keep every year with every property that we're addressing, and then we have then the ones we've data collected, which is a full
Correct.
review.
Correct.
But not
So-
every property is a full review. There's no way we can
I'm
do
not
it.
saying
Right.
full review, but you're
But-
looking at 20% per year. Have we been?
I'd say we're pretty close to it, touching on them, but not data collecting,
Okay,
20%.
so the ones that get full review, the ones that either got applications to do something or
Significant, yep,
they're rolling
and
up.
sales.
The sales.
And
correct.
sales,
The market.
those are the two that
The market.
were really, that
So
are
while-
bringing us.
While
in.
you're, yeah, while we're asking you all these questions,
No.
to educate us, and
Absolutely.
for me especially. Jim Tiger probably answered this a long time ago for me, but I don't remember, but let's say we're going to, we're sending our guy out to an area to look at a permit or whatever, to look at, it's completed. And
Mhm.
he's going out to look and he goes, wow, look at that place. I don't remember that porch or I don't remember this. I mean, do we do like spot visits of those things? Do we,
That's really more James catching that stuff
yeah,
than us. I mean, I do question things with James all the time.
Yeah.
Like when I see things, I'm not sure if Michael's doing that so much, but I do. But honestly, most of the time I bring something to his attention and he's like, oh, and did you see this one and this one? And I'm like, okay. So his hand is on the pulse pretty good with things.
well, what brings it to
Yeah.
my attention is, we drove up North Madison Road the other day and some of the beat up houses that were not so nice are now looking pretty nice.
Mhm.
Now, what, they may not gotten building permits, but maybe they painted and cut trees or changed hands or
Mhm.
whatever they did. And wow, there was some places that a few years ago or a year ago looked pretty nasty and now look pretty nice, you know?
So that's changed their market value.
Yeah, I mean,
Where it gets hard for us is they put a coat of paint on their house. It makes
no,
it
you
great.
can't do it.
I can't.
I understand.
I do adjust it for effective year for stuff like that. I don't get to see the inside though. So where I get to really see the inside of these houses is when it goes on MLS. And that's where it's great because then I find out about finished basements. I find out, have they put bedrooms down there? There's different ways we
Oh, yeah.
value.
Oh,
There's,
sure.
yeah. And other living spaces that we didn't even know about. Some of them say, this is not being used as living space, but yet we found some that, they've
sure.
got full kitchens and bathrooms
There's a lot of
and a
places
bed
you
there.
had two doorbells,
Yeah,
2 doors and 2
Yeah.
doorbells.
yeah. So, yeah, we can tell by the vents in the roof often. If there's vents in a roof, they say it's a barn. If we see vents, then we know that there's more than just a barn in there.
It's a bathroom,
Yeah,
there's pipes.
yep, exactly. So it's but unfortunately,
Not saying it's an easy job.
by
that's for
law,
sure, by
we
no
can't
means.
really like
No, I understand.
do anything other than look at exterior. I mean, we're lucky that we get to drone. I mean, so many places aren't doing that, and the building department doesn't even have that luxury of doing that. But more and more people are starting to do that, so it's a good
About the
thing.
log
So,
cabin we went to.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
especially for a town like this, because there's, it's hard to see. On the big properties, it's hard to see what's going on.
Yeah.
So
For sure.
You told me about a house that's assessed for 4 million and it's on the market for 28 million.
it's assessed for like 4.4. So my
It's Woodstock.
fair market value is about 5.6. And yes, it's 309 Woodstock. It's it's Home Shopping Network's house, and they have 2 properties, 303 and 309. And I don't think 303, which is the vineyard part of it, is even in that number. And we actually did do inventory on that. I added like 300,000, which usually isn't good enough, but it sells anywhere near 28 million. Whew, but it's not worth that. So
Right,
it's just
okay,
not.
so if it does sell, then what happens?
I have to try to find value, but there has to be physical value. There has to be,
Yeah.
there has to
Compared
be,
To the lot, like, do you see what I mean? You don't, up,
No, you can't do it on sale value.
you cannot.
not at this point, because we're not in an annual reassessment mode. So I can't just bump it to market value. I have to have a reason to bump it to market value. There has to be value there. It doesn't even necessarily have to be a new building, but it has to be, like you said, they could totally have renovated it and I'm still showing it.
Market, compared her numbers, and they come to a formula that determines
Like,
the full assessment. I just got done on May and it blew my mind, but go ahead.
no, it's like, say this goes for 28 million and last time it was 3 mil, what's it assessed at? 3 million, right?
No, 4.4, so full
So
market's
4
like
million.
5.6 right now.
So, full market's 5, it sells for 28, and then we reevaluate in 2025, and we take that 28 million into consideration. Like what goes on with that? There's a formula?
Oh, sure. Location.
Not really a formula.
It's not,
I will go in and review it again and try to find out from the last time we reviewed it and now what's changed. Like what
Yeah.
now made it
yeah,
get higher, because
But you
I-
would have reason to change an assessed value if it goes for 28 million. Whether they, okay, added something, but also the cost of materials, et cetera, et cetera. Do you see
Right.
what I mean?
Right.
So that's interesting, that there
Right.
was not,
But if it, I mean, it's not worth $28 million. It's not
well,
worth
nothing's
even
worth it.
close,
No, that's right,
Right.
that's the problem.
right?
Yeah.
But that's so like out of the park from.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at what,
Well, of course, you could add-
Meadville was on the market for what, 12,
13 and
13?
a half.
Well, 19
19.
originally,
But that is a ton of land. This place isn't even,
350 acres.
yeah,
I mean,
this
if
is
you
not,
look at it, you're gonna need $1 million in budget just to maintain the property.
yeah,
I had two real estate agents.
It's on dirt road.
Currently in the
Mm-hmm.
town of Washington, there's less than 0.0001 properties up for sale, and those that are up for sale are in the multi-million-dollar level.
yeah, it's almost
So
all
no affordable housing.
very, very few, just a couple right now. And
Hmm.
there's only a few that are under $1 million.
Everybody's sitting. The market 10 years ago was born. Everybody's sitting. The interest
Look
rates.
at the
that we
interest
presented-
rates, yeah.
Present the other day.
The mortgage, people that are in the level of buying houses that are taking mortgages, they are sitting.
But it is interesting that what goes on the market here is done
Yeah.
in days.
But what somebody told me too is when the market was, the interest rates were at 3%, so many people refinanced down
Yeah,
to get to 3%,
and they had
that they
years to do it.
decided
Yeah,
we're staying. And now I'm gonna put the deck on. Now I'm gonna paint the house.
Yes.
Now I'm gonna
Yeah.
put the swimming pool in.
Yeah.
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 That's what's happened.
Well, almost everybody tried
Yeah.
to remortgage when the rates went
it
down.
took years to do it. The rates
2%
were low for many
Long
years,
time.
so.
My daughter's one.
Compared to when you and I.
Okay.
had the first house.
We're getting off track.
The thing about letting Lois go, if
Oh.
we don't spend any more to.
It's okay.
Hope you have a hot toddy in front of you.
We have to talk to Lois about any of these changes.
No,
No.
that just recapped the changes that I made, so you could see.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But like I said, I would like to take some money of that under the cap money and put it towards Killarn Road. But let me know your thoughts.
Okay. Okay. All right, Lois, thank you for
You're welcome.
getting on.
Sorry, I'm
Thanks, Lois.
not there.
That's all right.
Yeah, take it easy and get better.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Night.
Bye.
Right.
Bye.
So do you feel we're in good position for when 2025 does come? We're gonna be, in good position. When do you think we should start perhaps reaching out to seek a consultant to get on their list or something like that?
Not now.
The end of 24,
Mm-mm.
but we're supposed to do it in 2025.
I mean, I had staffing issues the first couple of years I was here, then we had COVID. I mean, I've only had Michael there,
Company to do it.
but we have to finish the data collecting. We have to get through that unless you guys want to, have them do the whole gamut, but that's going to cost a lot of money.
It cost us a lot last time we did. the whole
It's
thing.
going to cost even more. It's going up and up and it's,
It cost
I mean, there's still a
$250,000.
component of it that they might have to help with, like, we're gonna have to go out and photograph,
Yeah,
photograph
so is there-
everything. There's
Is
something,
there a way that we could find out about? I mean, just kind of
Projected
general,
costs, just in case.
I mean, is there a way to do that?
yeah, I could
Well,
reach
we
out to
could, we
them to get
could,
an
we
idea,
could,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
between you and Christie, you could
Yeah.
maybe talk to other towns and see when the last reval they did, who they used.
Right,
You know,
Get
just to get a list
Get an
together.
idea.
We're working
Yeah.
through it.
And,
right,
you know, if we need to help in some way, we can make some calls too, and just get us an idea,
Get an
so we
idea.
could start preparing to
right.
know what we need to do, how much we
But
need.
the more I can get done in-house, the more it's gonna save us down the line, because
Yeah, but the longer we wait, the
Longer we
more
wait.
assessed value.
Right.
And we're
But you-
really cheating ourselves because we're not able to tax at the proper rate. Right? The proper assessment.
Right.
value.
But if you do a reval without the data really being cleaned up, you're doing it on
Well, they-
partial section that's been reviewed and and
Well, don't,
I
don't
think-
when we did the last revale, didn't they look at every single property?
Yes, they did.
Yeah, but you know how bad some of that data was? They don't really,
What do you mean? If
They
they look
really
at it, they know,
do it.
they don't have to look at any data. They look at the real thing. Right?
There were some houses
No?
they didn't get entry to. They did drive-bys.
Yeah. Like,
there's still a lot of stuff from
But
even
I think-
before 2006 that is not, that has not been put on the inventory.
Don't you think, just like you've improved the technology in your office with
Yeah,
those spy things? that
The
they
drone,
had
yeah.
Done that too, so.
no, they didn't do any,
Better.
yeah, they weren't droning back then.
No, that's what I mean.
And-
So maybe now with their new abilities, maybe we
Right.
can get even better numbers. I just would like to know approximately what this is gonna cost.
yeah. Well, we
Right.
need to know so we can,
Well, we've already,
well, we got some.
yeah,
Right, I
130.
mean, yeah. And
Okay.
yeah, I'll have a better idea once Michael and Claire are both helping, how quickly we can get through it. Again, unless we want to just settle and say, hey, we're gonna do it with what we got. And a lot of towns do that. So they're like, you know what, we're just gonna stop where we're at, but it's gonna still
Oh.
create inequity. So,
No, we'll do it.
I mean, that's
Well,
why,
Yeah, let's find out who the other people used and what kind of
and a lot of towns
valuation
now
they
are
had.
100%. They're not doing that 92 or 70, whatever the hell they used to do. They're now all doing 100%.
right?
All right.
But some of them, all they'll do is take their adjustment, find out, okay, well, we increased by 10% and they'll just go across the board and do 10%. So that creates inequity down the line too,
Mhm.
just so you know. Depends on how,
Well, we
diligent
wouldn't,
they
we
are
wouldn't
with it.
accept a report like that. I mean, I can do that report, adjust everything 10%. Pay me 100,000.
they
to
might do a
that,
little
but-
bit of trending. Like we often have, since I've been here, we've had a lot more changes with the village than in the town. For a while there, we had a lot of big properties that were losing a value because they weren't selling until COVID. So even during COVID, it's kind of flipped around a bit.
As the assessor in talking to other towns, do you feel that we are are comparable with our tax structure as compared to other towns? I mean, some people say, oh, you live in Millwood, that taxes must be so high.
No, we're pretty
We're pretty,
good.
we're kind of,
Pretty good.
But-
actually.
Yeah.
we're kind of down
Mhm. Yeah.
on the spectrum. We're tying the low end
Mhm.
compared to other towns, I would think.
Mhm.
The way we.
I mean, not to say
conserve
people
it.
don't complain about the taxes, but
But-
if they look at it relative to,
To just property taxes and not the
Mhm.
combined school and property,
Mm-hmm.
it's a
Mhm.
little bit more revealing of
Right.
how well we've been able to keep it fairly conservative and
Mhm.
tight.
Mhm.
And still provide the services.
Well, school tax is just based on a different, it's still based on the value that we put on it. Just a percentage of the value.
And different needs and
Right.
whatever they're playing, you know, and it's, okay.
All right.
The other
yeah, I
question?
think we're doing pretty good. And the school, Millbrook is still low compared to a lot of, not a lot, but a number of the schools. Yeah, I'd say actually a lot. And we're not bottom for the Millbrook, but we're like Weebatuck is lower than us. There's a few others that the rates are lower than us, but there's quite a few schools that are quite a bit higher than us too, as far as the school, because that's the big chunk of it. So,
Can't forget about that.
Yeah.
Okay,
all right.
that's where,
Thanks, Lee.
Okay.
thank you for coming, Lee.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
no,
There's so
happy
many,
to help. It's good
Okay.
for you guys to know,
It's an
what's going on.
It's an interesting
there's a lot of moving parts
job,
in it.
yeah.
Right,
Mhm.
right. And I still don't know what our equalization rate's gonna be this year. I told you what happened with New York State, that they flagged me and made me go through and they rejected, like, I spent so much time reviewing all with codes, like for outliers and stuff. And he's got a bunch of new staff at New York State, the state guy that does stuff for us. And I mean, they were flagging stuff that was like, didn't even make sense, like quick claim deeds and stuff like that. And but everything that wasn't very obvious, they just across the board flagged everything. So I complained and asked them to go back and review some of them. I'm like, you're telling me that there aren't people overpaying when when they own the property next door? Of course, that's very common. We had it happen on Altamont this year. There's several properties it happened with. And you have people that just want something because they need to have a house, so they will pay, they will pay extra and. So fingers crossed.
Yeah.
I get him to, it's just crazy.
All right.
COVID has not been kind to us in many respects.
Probably to none of us, nobody.
Yeah. All right,
All right, thanks, Lisa.
and I'll keep you posted on this village, or I'll CC you on it.
Whose phone is on charge? You?
Oh, I
That's
just
the
put the pen back.
Oh,
phone.
there's a phone on charge over there. Is that one of yours?
No.
I think it's the court phone.
Oh, it's a court phone.
Oh, you
Okay.
leave it plugged in all night?
Yeah, she's got court tomorrow
Yeah.
night, so she probably wants
Oh,
to make sure she's
okay.
got through.
Okay, all right, good.
All right, bye, Lisa.
Thank
Have a good night.
Thanks.
Yep. Yep,
So
all right. What are we doing?
Are we gonna go into executive session for salaries?
Yeah.
So,
I guess we'll talk to drop down.
yeah, is there anybody on?
Nobody's on anyway.
Nobody's on? Okay. So,